Steve Jobs once said, work is going to fill a large part of your life. Ask yourself, do you dread Mondays? Do you only live for the weekends? Do you hate waking up and going to work? Do you feel you're at the wrong place and meant to do something else in life? The multitude of career choices we have today could make us feel paralyzed because there's so many career options and limited time, with any decision could have a long-term effect on your career. Then there are situations that intensify the uncertainty of our career. A parent couldn't clear his CA, so he wants his son to become a CA. My friends are joining an AI startup, so let me also focus on AI jobs. An MBA will help me buy a house by the time I'm 30. So let me do an MBA. A parent said, just get a degree first. You have your whole life to work on your passion. Another parent said, teaching as a career is suitable for women. An actor lives a glamorous life, so why not pursue that career? Sharma ji's son is so successful, you must go to the US for your master's degree. Could you relate to any of this? Well, once and for all, don't fall into these traps. If you end up in the wrong career, only one person is going to suffer, and that's going to be you. One thing that I've truly achieved in my life, and I must say I'm proud of that, is that I've been able to find a career I love. I love business research, strategy making, content writing, and teaching, and I've carved my entire career around these 4 things. In this video, I will share research-backed techniques to help you move towards a career that you will actually enjoy and love. The first thing is run away from job titles. Many people today choose careers based on what they can get out of it. They ask themselves, what will I get? Will I be able to afford the kind of lifestyle that I want? Will I earn this kind of salary? This approach is totally flawed because you might end up having everything but still feeling empty in the end. Consider this. People are drawn to specific job labels like trader, investment banker, or doctor, or they're enticed by the associated lifestyles such as the ability to afford luxury vacations or houses. But it's crucial to think about the day-to-day task of those roles and whether you would enjoy them. By focusing on job titles, you might overlook the realities of daily responsibilities. For instance, my first job was an investment banker. I loved what I was doing, but I worked for 14 to 15 hours in a day. When I started experiencing stress and burnout, people would tell me, are you seeing the glam factor of this job? That's how the life of an investment banker is. These words kept me going despite the harsh realities of my job title. Irrespective of how much I earned, I was not happy. In May 2024, there was a news that an investment banker committed suicide because of work pressure in New York City. Well, if this job is so glamorous, then why did such a thing happen? The second is develop your current skill set with daily commitments. Developing skills through daily commitments is crucial for career growth. Cal Newport, in So Good They Can't Ignore You, emphasizes focusing on skill development rather than just following your passion. He argues that a fulfilling career doesn't come easily or appear magically, but requires building career capital by developing valuable skills. For example, if you aspire to become a writer, set aside some time to write 2 pages of your book or an article. After completing this task, evaluate how you feel. Did you enjoy the process? Do you feel a sense of accomplishment or purpose? Did it motivate you to continue to write? If you want to become a chef, spend an afternoon cooking complex dish or experimenting with a recipe. If you want to become a fitness trainer, conduct a training session for a friend and design a workout plan. When I moved to the US in 2013, I pursued professional speaking by joining a community group where we practice and critique speeches. I also dedicated 30 minutes daily to writing and practicing my speeches. By investing time in developing skills that you're passionate about, you can build a fulfilling career that aligns with your strengths. The third is analyze to see what you're naturally good at. Norman Cousins, an American journalist and author, once said, the tragedy of life is not death, but what we let die inside of us while we live. Understanding what you're naturally good at is crucial for career fulfillment. For example, when I was in school, I participated in a business plan competition and was selected to represent my college at the national level. Excelling among many students made me realize that I was naturally good at business research. This self-realization gave me a significant advantage. Because of that realization, today I run a business research company creating business plans and pitch books for a living. In a team setting, look at the areas where you naturally excel and do better than others. What separates you from others? What can you bring to the table? Tasks that take less effort when you do them compared to others. Things people admire about you. The fourth is audit the daily task of your aspirational career. When finding a career you love, think about the daily nature of the role. Will you enjoy client interaction? What will be the working hours? Can you sustain that? And for how long? Will you like taking sales calls for most of your your workday? Will you love creating product presentations? Start by tracking these activities and evaluating whether you enjoy them or not. Determine if these tasks give you a sense of purpose, immediate enjoyment, or fulfill your long-term goals. Do they put you in a flow state or do they drain your energy out? The fifth is gaining practical experience. Gaining relevant and practical experience can solidify your interest in a career and make you a competitive candidate even when you're already in a full-time role. Here are some effective ways to build your experience. The first is internship. Internship offers hands-on experience, often leading to job offers, and allows you to explore various aspects of a profession. The second is volunteering. Volunteering can offer valuable experience, especially if you're transitioning into a new field. The third is freelancing. Freelancing builds experience and a portfolio, offering flexibility to explore diverse career paths. For example, I didn't start my research career out of thin air. I freelanced in the US for 6 years while having a full-time job, building my skills and clientele. This experience proved to me that this field could provide a full-time living, so I dedicated to plunge into it. The sixth thing to do if you want to make a career that you love is ask yourself, can you be devoted to this career for the next 20 years? You're investing your life in your career. So if this life is precious, you must see what truly matters to you and pursue that. These decisions should concern you deeply. It doesn't matter if it pays you well or not. If your heart isn't something, you won't do your best. And if you don't do your best, great things won't happen to you and it won't pay you at the end. If you aren't absolutely devoted to what you are doing, you will never achieve anything significant. You may earn a living, but you will not do anything significant if you're not totally devoted to something. Visualize yourself 20 years down the line. Look back at your life. Will you be proud of your work or will you feel guilt? Will your choices give you a life that you enjoy or were you just trying to make a living? The last thing to understand is taking U-turns. Taking U-turns randomly is often impractical. Instead, take small steps in a specific direction. Gather data, assess how you feel, and adjust your course as needed. Stay open to changing direction. During one of my podcasts, career coach Meher Batra suggested making a list of the pros and cons of your current job and see if it is worth continuing or leaving.
Make a list of the pros and cons. If your pros outweigh the cons, then stick to the job. If your cons are more than the pros, then maybe you need to take that risk and take a bet on yourself and find something that you feel excited to go to work on a Monday morning.
If your mental health is deteriorating and if you can't sleep, it might be time to quit. But this decision is highly situational. If you're not fully engaged or enjoying your career, start exploring and gradually move towards what satisfies you. This could mean requesting more of your preferred task in your current role, starting a side hustle you love, and taking incremental steps towards a fulfilling career. I pursued an MBA in both finance and marketing. Finance for its high-paying prospects and marketing because it came naturally to me. I got placed in a finance role but didn't enjoy a few aspects of my role. So I communicated with my manager to involve me in projects requiring research, presentation, and analysis. This strategy worked and my boss recognized me for my strengths. This could work for you too. Finding a career you enjoy is a long-term process. But over time, you will connect the dots and realize that everything along this circuitous path has made sense in hindsight. Well, I hope you like this video, and if you're in the situation where you hate Mondays, please let us know in the comment section. We will talk about it. If you want to know some career strategies from the VP of InMobi, tune in to this video of mine.